Entertainment Roundtable.
This you do not talk about.
The Entertainment Roundtable.
Wonder Twin powers activate!
Gentlemen, you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
I am the smartest man alive!
How much clearer can I say? There's always money in the banana stand!
Idiot! God, so stupid. What a dumb question.
This is madness! This is
The Entertainment Roundtable.
It's time!
Hey, welcome in, and good morning on a very early part of the Saturday morning. Hope everything is going well as we are almost at full strength. We're missing one guy. Josh said, well, I'm just not going to make it this morning because I got too many other things going on. Like, you know, he's dealing with a movie premiere or something like that.
He's our weakest link anyways.
Which he almost is dealing with a movie premiere. I've understood that there's this, just that close to final edit of Mom's Night Out.
That close, huh?
That's right about
People, if you could see
right
how
there.
close it is.
Right about there.
He's our weakest link anyways. We're not
Goodbye.
missing anything.
With that said, good morning, Jeff, David, Jacob, and Ryan. How are you? We'll start with Jeff. Everything good?
Everything's good. I got a very rare cup of coffee today, so I'm actually a little more lively.
Yeah, you don't drink coffee. You're a big Mountain Dew kind of guy.
I decided, you know what, let's do it today.
There you go. David, good morning.
Hey,
You all right?
yeah,
Hanging in there?
yeah.
You
I just
seem a
keep,
little-
I
seem
keep
a little
thinking
tired.
about how mean Jacob is.
Well, you know.
I mean, it's early. I've just woken up. I mean,
Ladies, come on.
give me. I need some time. I'm not
Needs
a
little bit of
morning.
time. By about halfway through the show, he'll be all right.
I'm not a morning person.
Yeah,
That's-
so we know about Jacob. How about Ryan? How are you, sir?
I am doing excellent, Steve. How are you doing?
Cannot complain at all. Let's kick it off here because you can follow us in several different ways, not the least of which Facebook page for the show, Facebook/whatever with Steve West. On Twitter.
Yeah, we are at 101 Roundtable.
All right, let's kick it off here. Top 10 films, and stop me if you have seen it and not already reviewed it. In at number 10, Enough Said, $2.1 million, $5.4 million overall. Pulling Strings debuts to $2.5 million. I know we kind of vaguely, sort of, almost talked about this limited release film last week, but I really don't remember it.
I don't remember either of those two movies.
No, I don't either. Insidious Chapter number 2 comes in at number 8, $3.8 million. So that thing's made just shy of $75 million as of official numbers from Sunday night. We know we're going to get another one.
Oh, yeah. They've
Yep.
already planned that.
Yee. Can we just
Yeah.
stop watching these things? In at number 7, Baggage Claim, $4.1 million, $15.2. Don John in there at number 6, $4.1 million as well. About 16.1 there. Then you get to Rush, $4.4 million, $18.1. Did I not just see here recently where you posted online on a blog, Ryan, where you finally have seen this film?
Well, yes, we actually talked about it, I think it was last week or the week before, but yes, it is now officially on my blog for everyone in the blogosphere to look at.
Okay, because I had thought you had already seen it, and then all of a sudden the review showed up, and I'm suddenly questioning myself. Have we already had his review of the movie? And
I thought we did.
had, yeah. So, okay. Just checking. You're playing catch-up.
Yeah, sort of, yeah, but please feel free to check it out whenever you can.
Well, where is it?
You can go online, go to thetowerlight.com, click on blogs, then click on the menu where the blogs are listed, click on the highlight reel.
There you go. In at number 4, Prisoners, $5.7 million over the last weekend, 47.9 as it still goes strong. Runner in at number 3, debuted to $7.6 million. Ben Affleck, Justin Timberlake, I don't know.
Gemma Artertron.
Yeah, were they thinking more for this? This hit right about where they thought it was going to hit? What?
I'm not too sure, but $7.8 million, that's kind of abysmal, especially when Ben Affleck's in the film.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised it did that well.
Are you? Because
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've heard that Ben Affleck probably was about the only quote-unquote redeeming value of the film,
And
that the
that's-
rest of it is not good at all.
Well, the trailer itself, Ben Affleck looks awful in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe everybody just mailed it in on this one.
Potentially.
Anybody have interest in seeing this at all?
Nope.
Was this actually, like, I don't have any...
None? Jeff?
but
Nope.
No?
Was this like a film that had been sitting on a shelf for a while and they just waited to release it when they announced he was Batman? I mean, what happened there?
I don't know.
I'm not really sure, but this would be on my Redbox, though, or free preview weekend.
Yeah, a free preview weekend I could see wasting a couple hours watching
Yeah,
it, and then
sure.
probably at the end going, wasted a couple hours on that. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 comes in at number 2, $21.5 million. It's made $60.6. Yeah, went to go see that last weekend.
Was it as bad as they say?
It wasn't good.
Oh, no.
It wasn't good.
It's been kind of a rough year for you with movies, Steve.
Now, I understand that this gains attention for being a family film, and it's really the only one that's out there because all the other ones have gone away.
Yeah, they have.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has funny parts to it, but it just drags.
Yeah.
And it's going down the same line that we've seen so many times from so many films of, oh, big corporation bad, small people good.
No, I have no patience for that anymore.
Yeah, it's, do me a favor, quit putting your politics into my film and just give me something that's entertaining, would you?
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Because Obama.
It was funny. It was cute. It was something that your kids, if you have kids under the age of 10, are going to really, really enjoy. There are some great one-liners in there because you're talking about an island that's full of food that's come to life, such as there's a leak in the boat, which we've seen in the preview, and then you turn around and there sits in the front seat of the boat a leak. Literally, the pat of butter acting as a frog, which says butter, and then gets hit with some sort of a mosquito and goes flat and says parquet. Pretty funny stuff, but it's not enough to make up for the entire rest of the film. So it's middling, 5.5. I'll give it a 5.25 out of 10.
Surprised I got that.
Terry Crews as the cop was any good?
What?
Terry Crews as the voiceover for the cop, he wasn't any good either?
The people that voiced their characters, they did okay. None of them really stood out, though. I mean, it was just, they could have done such a better movie. And then you get to the film that broke records for October in its debut weekend. George Clooney, Sandra Bullock, Gravity. Ryan, you went to go see this last week. You loved it.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and go see it in IMAX 3D if you have the opportunity.
Jeff, you had the chance to see it as well. Did you...
Yes.
Let's see, you went to go see it on Sunday. You went to go see it in the theater about the same time we did, but you went to a different theater.
Yeah, apparently we have some cross wires and mixed metaphors.
Yeah,
but
apparently.
Actually, if it's any indication, I'm going to edit that out.
Please do.
of how much I liked it, I've seen it twice now.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll start with you. Go for it.
I love this movie, man.
Ryan's 8 out of 10, so let's see where Jeff goes.
You guys know that this is one I've been looking forward to since I first heard about it and have been bringing it up for months. Had high expectations, met them. Love this movie. This is a master working with his tools as far as the mechanics of the movie. You don't know what is... A friend of mine called it the best animated film of the year because most of it is green screen work, but you cannot tell. It's just a lot of people criticize it for its simple story, but its simplicity is why it's going to be so successful. And another reason I like it, it's a universal story once it gets going. It's an edge of your seat thrill ride. It's also got moments of great beauty and wonder, and I loved it. It's my favorite movie of the year out of a year where I've liked a lot of good movies.
Out of 10.
9.9 because I don't know if there's a perfect film out there.
Not even Billy Madison?
It's close.
I was about to say, there is a perfect film out there. It's called The Blues Brothers.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
That wouldn't have been my choice for the perfect film, but hey, I think we all have our own different opinions. So we got an 8, we got a 9.9. Jacob, where are you going?
Okay. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Fantastic movie. The visuals, like Jeff said, are stunning. I mean, just incredibly beautiful. I'll be shocked if it doesn't get an Oscar for visual work, for special effects. Story-wise, it's a gripping story. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time. I mean, it is definitely thrilling the whole time. Just, what's going to happen next? My only minor complaint with the movie is that they don't have a lot that ties you. You don't get very emotionally connected to the character, and it's good. I mean, like I say, the story is fantastic. It's well written. It's just you don't have a lot to just really care about the character at all. So for me, very, very good. I'm saying it's a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, 7.5 out of 10.
Poppycock.
And then that brings it to me. I'm going to kind of split the difference here between Jeff and Jacob. because I agree with him in this. Nice, tight, hour and a half, 40-minute long movie. I mean, to get you in there. It sets it up very, very quickly. You don't have to wait very long for you to understand exactly where this movie is going to be going. It drops you right in there very, very quickly.
Yeah.
The action's fantastic when there is action. Visually, this is just stunning. If you get the chance to go see this at least in 3D, and if you can, in IMAX 3D, because it is worth the extra money.
Yeah, it's the benchmark for 3D movies.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Sandra Bullock, her character, she does it very, very well, and then you get George Clooney who comes in, and he's that calm, cool, collected, I'm the veteran, and you can tell that kind of dynamic. You understand it. It's good. I'm a little bit with Jacob here because everyone was going, this is, think of Castaway in space.
Yeah.
Castaway, you had the ability to get to know the character of Tom Hanks, to know, not that I'm going to give away anything, to know the character of Tom Hanks and know a couple of the other characters before all of a sudden he's just spending an hour of the film all by himself on a deserted island. In this case, you didn't get that chance to know Sandra Bullock. You didn't get that chance to know George Clooney's characters. You were just thrown into it, and you had to try and feel your way along. So in some ways, you kind of go through this, and you're like, do I care about this person? Now, again, great roller coaster ride, and you're on the edge of your seat, you're gripping the armrest of the chair, and you're wondering what's going to happen next. But I kind of agree with Jacob. You don't really get this emotional feeling an attachment to the characters themselves.
We could have used a flashback or two to get a better idea of these characters. And also, Jacob, are you going to buy the soundtrack?
Probably not. It didn't really stand out all that much to me. It was good. It just wasn't like it didn't do much for me.
That said, I think Sandra Bullock did a whole lot with, and they played it for minimalism. There's no doubt. And she did a whole lot with it. I'd be surprised if she doesn't get a little bit of buzz for possibly Best Actress Oscar. So with all that, I would give it an 8.5. This is one movie that I heartily recommend. Yeah. Absolutely.
You should go see it. I mean, in the theater. I mean, it's definitely something you need to see in the theater. It's an experience.
It won't be the same at home. I'm sorry.
No,
it won't.
No. I mean, I don't care how big of a TV screen you got. It ain't going to matter.
I mean, everything about this is built for the theater. The 3D, the sound design. Yeah.
And Josh loved this thing last week to the point where he probably gave this thing the better part of an 8 out of 10, if I remember correctly. So averaging all 5 of us together, we're somewhere around 8.5 to 9, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we pretty much all agree. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know if I want to see Sandra Bullock in 3D.
Oh, come on.
You do. You do.
You want to talk about good stuff.
David, I'll be honest with you. I've never been the world's biggest Bullock fan, but I'll never.
Sandy B brings it.
She did a real good job in this. She really did.
Sandy B brings it.
Coming out this week, two films in wide release. We talked about Castaway a couple of minutes ago. Featured Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is out again in Captain Phillips. Catherine Keener and others. It's based upon the real life story of the Maersk, Alabama's commanding officer and the give and take between him and the Somali pirates that captured the cargo ship and took him hostage. This has been getting a lot of buzz as well when it comes to award season. I think I'm going to try and go see this on Sunday. Anybody in with me?
I'm in.
Jacob's
might be.
Okay.
The more I've seen about it.
This time we're going to our favorite guys in Amstar, Alabaster.
I understand.
Just trying to help you out there.
Thank you.
So it looks like 3. You?
What is this again?
Captain Phillips?
Oh, no.
Are you awake? You even here?
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
What?
I heard the name of the movie and I tuned out.
It's Paul Greengrass.
Good night. This is by the same guy that does the Bourne series. I'm sorry.
You're not in 93?
Yeah, I don't like the Bourne series.
You know, he's about officially out of here. He's checked out within the first 15 minutes of the show, and he doesn't like the Bourne series. He's about gone. He's got 2 strikes against him right here, man. And then you get Machete Kills. And if he wants to go see this is strike number 3. Danny Trejo, Michelle Rodriguez, Amber Heard, and the litany of others. The second film in the story of the ex-federale now hired by the President of the United States for a mission that was not meant for a regular man. I'm thinking, Jeff, you might be in on this.
Eventually, but I'm not going to spend a premium to see it.
Okay, David.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the first one.
I've seen like the end of the first one, and I was thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah, I've seen the first one, and I mean, like, I'm interested in to see how bad it is. I'm not going to spend any money to see this, but I mean, I want to see how terrible the movie is. I'm interested in. Because I've seen the previews, it can't be good.
And then you get Charlie Sheen portraying Carlos Danger or something like that.
It's Carlos
Estevez, whatever.
No, I cannot remember a full length Rodriguez film that I actually liked.
Well, I have a hard time swallowing any film that tries to portray Charlie Sheen, and I don't care what he calls himself. Any film that puts Charlie Sheen in the role of president of the United States.
Yeah, that's a little bit of
actually that's
that
I can see that happening though.
Exactly what kind of movie this is.
Because Obama.
And out in limited release here, a lot of them. All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, that stars Amber Heard. Broadway Idiot, something called CBGB, that stars Alan Rickman and Rupert Grint, about the beginnings of the famed New York City club. Design is one. Escape from Tomorrow, God Loves Uganda. I Will Follow You into the Dark. The Inevitable Defeat of Mr. and Pete, that stars Jennifer Hudson and Jordan Sparks, and apparently an American Idol reunion. Romeo and Juliet, starring Holly Hunter. Sweetwater, which stars Ed Harris, January Jones, and Jason Isaacs, and something called Zero Charisma. Out next week, Carrie, the remake. Escape Plan with Arnold and Sly. And The Fifth Estate with Benedict Cumberbatch playing the guy from WikiLeaks.
Yeah, who apparently, was it Julian Assange is none too happy about. He is apparently not happy about that.
Darn.
The portrayal of him in that movie. So,
what, like he's trying to portray him as sympathetic?
No, I briefly read something that he was asking for Benedict Cumberbatch to step down and step away from the movie. And
who did he want?
No, well, I don't know, but he was saying that he thought that he didn't play him correctly.
You do not know the Assange.
I briefly read the story, so I don't know all the details. But
did someone leak him the movie?
Julian Assange is going to end up in prison anyway. What does he care who portrays him in film?
Right, really.
Good grief. My gosh. All right, when we come back, speaking of Tom Hanks, we're going to talk about some news of his. And, we got some Avengers news. We can't do an Entertainment Roundtable episode, apparently, without some Avengers news.
Wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, really, no kidding. And Reese Witherspoon possibly portraying a princess. We'll get to all that coming up next.
Hope you got your popcorn, because we're back to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101.
Hey, welcome back in. Listening to the Entertainment Roundtable here. Superstation 101, WYDE, your live local FM radio station throughout the course of the day and on the weekends as well. Roxanne by the Police on the soundtrack to the movie CBGB. I'm here to tell you there wasn't anything worth finding on either Captain Phillips or Machete Kills. But yet I looked and I was like, there's got to be something that's got a half-decent soundtrack song. And sure enough, you go to CBGB talking about a New York City nightclub, you're in.
Yeah, so I say that movie, it screams that there's going to be something that you can play.
Absolutely. All right, into some movie news here. And the guy who is in this weekend's Captain Phillips, Tom Hanks, he just appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman and revealed some pretty interesting information, Jake.
Yeah, he revealed that he has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. They say most likely it's because he's done a lot of weight gain and weight loss for different parts.
Just look at Castaway.
Yeah, I sort of say. And so... he said, between a lot of the weight gains and weight losses, that he's developed type 2 diabetes, and that's something he's been struggling with for a few years. But he's finally started to admit it. So
he's come out of the diabetes closet
a little bit, yeah. So
all right. The funny thing is the day after he made that announcement, I heard a doctor on one of the morning news shows talking about it and going, "Yeah, it's highly unlikely that just because he gained and lost weight like he did because he's an actor that's what caused him to get diabetes." Mm-hmm. It's probably something to do with his history in his family.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, here we go. 20th Century Fox, David, they've acquired the rights to the comic called Who is Jake Ellis? They've attached David Yates to direct it. Daniel, I should say, actually sent this to me. I'm not overly familiar with this. Is anybody familiar with Who is Jake Ellis?
Nope.
I don't know it.
No idea.
I mean, the best that I can tell is that this is kind of a combination of several things, a little bit of Jason Bourne, a little bit of James Bond. So it's got elements of several different kind of spy films or spy comics or whatever it is, because apparently this is a comic book adaptation. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes along. Said to have elements of Jason Bourne, little Memento, little Fight Club, former CIA analyst turned mercenary spy. We'll see where it goes. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate the submission. Disney, you want to talk about the entirely 180 degrees from a CIA analyst turned mercenary spy. Disney's tapped Reese Witherspoon for a film entitled Happily Ever After. It's a film that looks at the fairy tale of Prince and Princess from where all the other films seem to leave it, right after the wedding. This is going to pick up 10 years after the vows have been exchanged.
That could be good.
I guess reportedly they've got kids and marital problems, and she's not all perfect with the makeup and hair all done perfectly and everything.
Am I the only one that ever sort of cast, say, one set of Happily Ever Afters as like the next princess's parents, or like in the next story you read?
Oh, you like that? Okay, I can
never
kind of
did
see
that?
that. Yeah, I have to admit, I hadn't really thought about it, but that's actually not a bad way of looking at it. So, is this any interest in you whatsoever?
Well, it depends on how it's handled. I'm sure it'll be more family oriented.
If they play it for comedy, and it'll probably be very, very lighthearted. But if they can play it right, I think it could be kind of funny.
It could, and it might appeal to my sensitive side.
You've got one?
What? Your words, Steve, they wound me.
More so than my boisterous laughter?
It's so good. It's okay.
Tito, give me a tissue. Sorry. Jacob, the man who brought his Transformers to the big screen, he's thinking about a horror film?
Yeah, he, Michael Bay.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought that was all he made.
Oh,
they horrified me.
So he says he has a great fantasy to direct his own self-financed horror movie. He says some of his favorites have been The Exorcist and The Shining, so he wants to do something along those lines.
He's setting the bar pretty high there, man.
Yeah. I'm kind of expecting there to be some character that can make explosions happen as if from nowhere.
Right. In my version...
Explosion Man!
In my version, when a ghost possesses you, they explode.
Right.
You know what? He would be a perfect fit for Firestarter.
You got a point there.
He'd be a perfect fit for the unemployment line.
Oh.
Does he have an idea what the title is going to be or anything?
No.
He's just got this idea in his head that he wants to self-finance.
Right, yeah. Nothing more than that.
It's the working title of Boom.
Oh, Jacob, 30 years later, I'm kind of wondering, and don't get me wrong, I think the first film was fantastic, but 30 years later might be a little too late for me about a Blade Runner 2.
Yeah, Harrison Ford has talked to IGN, the website, and said that he's been discussing a return to the Blade Runner universe with Ridley Scott. And apparently, the Green Lantern writer Michael Green is reportedly working on the Blade Runner 2 script, so it's not looking good. This is not a good sign.
Oh, that's awful.
But
yeah, you almost have. Let's go back here. Let's rewind this for a moment, and let's push aside for a moment the Green Lantern writer. Let's just concentrate on the fact that this is 30 years since Ridley Scott and Harrison Ford have dealt with Blade Runner, which, I mean, Harrison Ford, let's face it, he's getting up there in years. Where is his character going to go with this?
Is there any more story to tell?
I think you could go someplace with it. I just don't know where.
Well, if they tell us in the second one which
Geriatric
version
Blade
of the
Runner.
first one we're supposed to watch.
Watch them both.
Both. They're like 5 versions. There's like the
Watch the
editor's
narrated
cut,
and then the unnarrated.
Oh, no.
I got through like the director's
Those
cut.
are the ones that I'm most concerned with. I'm not going to worry about the director's cut with this, that, and the other thing on it. Give me the theatrical
This one
release.
has
Give me the
14
theatrical
extra
release without the
seconds.
narrative.
But there's one that's, Ridley's final cut was the last one.
Which adds 3 seconds to one scene, right?
I watched the director's cut. I couldn't take it. I hated the movie. It was boring.
Just go back
And
to the
I'm
theatrical
not a guy
release.
who watches old movies and goes, "This is boring because it's old." And the
Really, you're
pacing."
not?
I'm really not. I'm not Ryan.
Oh, man, just threw you right under the bus, right? Ryan, have you seen Blade Runner?
Negative, sir.
You were cranky in the morning.
You probably need to check this out. All right, you and I probably, I don't know. I mean, how big of a fan of Blade Runner are you, Jacob?
All
right, between us all, you and I, Jeff, are probably the biggest Blade Runner fans on the show, and that includes the absent Josh. Your thoughts on revisiting this 30 years after the fact?
I'm sorry, I can't separate it from the fact that they got the guy who wrote Green Lantern on it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to come back to that. Don't worry. I'm going to go down that road. I just want, on the basic premise, is it wise to revisit the idea?
I wouldn't have a problem with it if they seem to be taking it seriously. At the same time, I'm also hesitant now because of Prometheus, which I went back and revisited not too long ago, and it sure is pretty.
Oh, yeah. Visually, great. Unfortunately, the separation between Gravity and Prometheus is the fact that Gravity had a story. Prometheus was just there.
Right. Anyway, so I don't know. I want it to be good. I don't have a problem with going back and revisiting something from that. Just be good.
Okay. And
do your best. Make a good movie.
Let's throw in the writer now, which immediately makes me go,
Dang it.
really don't want to see this now.
Not a best first step, fellas.
I think you stepped in the bucket, both of you.
I feel like he's going to sully the reputation of Blade Runner.
This is the same guy that says, I would be willing to revisit Indiana Jones, but I need to see the script well beforehand, and I need to make sure that this thing is good. He's already talking, I'm interested in revisiting the character, and then he turns around and realizes that this is the writer of a really, really bad film.
One of the worst ever.
God. All right. Yeah. Ryan, let's see where we can go with this. Tell me about a film called I, Frankenstein. Kind of takes the tale of the famed monster and turns it on its ear, at least from what I've seen. What have you found out?
Yes, so for I, Frankenstein, there's a war going on between gargoyles and demons, funny enough, and one of Frankenstein's creations, known as Adam, played by Aaron Eckhart in this iteration, is sent to kind of bring a little bit of a balance between the war, or maybe perhaps end it. It's something like that. This film's going to hit theaters everywhere on January the 24th, 2014. It stars Aaron Eckhart, Bill Nye, Yvonne Strahovski, or I believe Miranda Otto is also involved in this, and it is from the same creative team that brought us Underworld. Underworld, yeah, you guys were cool, but I, Frankenstein, after watching this trailer, I'm going to have to sell it. This looks terrible.
To me, if the film had been called something else, it would have been okay, but we're taking a Frankenstein's monster and we're making it fast, quick with martial arts, and what?
Have you ever read the book? He's not a lumbering monster. He's actually a bit more human than human.
A little more spry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but is he this capable with weaponry and fighting gargoyles?
After living for a few hundred years, I don't see why not.
All right, maybe I gotta go back and
if
read
vampires
the book.
can sparkle, Frankenstein can be a martial
don't
artist.
Even go down the Twilight Road with me.
If
Come
they can
on,
sparkle,
man.
then Frankenstein his monster can be a martial artist.
Let's put it this way: you're not selling me on going to see this.
Oh, I'm not even sold on going to see it. I'm not even going to see this.
You, Jeff, anything?
Oh, I won't go see it. No,
but it has mild interest for you.
I've watched stuff like Priest and things like. I'll give a good B movie a chance eventually. But
yeah, because I hate to say this because I think I like Yvonne Strahovski, and quite frankly, I like Aaron Eckhart, but I don't see myself getting into this film. Anybody?
I think it looks really cool, but I can't be bothered. It doesn't look. I can't find the interest for me. I can't do it.
Yeah, and Ryan, I'm assuming you're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, with the beautiful eye candy that's in this film, no, I'm not going to see this and waste my time nor my money on this. Plus, Aaron Eckhart is Frankenstein. He has a few scars on his face. No, he was the worst casting choice ever for this one.
Who would have been a better one?
Just someone who is not Aaron Eckhart, that's all.
I like Aaron Eckhart, and he looked like he had scars all over his body. He was pretty
Well,
deformed.
the funny thing is in some cases it looked like he did, and in other scenes it looked like he had no scars at all.
I mean, he didn't have bolts, so...
Oh, I'm not worried about the bolts. I couldn't care less about that. But, I mean,
I
in some of the scenes in the preview that we saw, it looked like he had scars in one and then didn't have scars in another.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't pay that close
maybe
attention.
Maybe he finds some magical healing.
Thanks. Appreciate that. All right. I think we probably mentioned this on the show. Planned sequel to World War Z. Brad Pitt apparently ready to reprise his role as the UN worker turned zombie fighter, but one person, Ryan, has said that they are not going to return for the second round. Who?
Yes, the director of the first film, Mark Forster, unfortunately is not going to be returning to helm the sequel to World War Z, so they're in the process of finding a new director right now.
Oh, darn.
Ah, shucks.
What, am I the only one who enjoyed World War Z?
I haven't seen it. I'm zombied out.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered.
I'll see it at some point as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably catch it on like a free preview weekend, but I'm kind of.
Oh, come on! This is a better zombie film than the last 10 we've had.
Well, that doesn't say a whole lot.
That really doesn't.
Not really saying much. Again, I'm zombied out. I mean,
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is fantastic. Given the issues they had with all the reshoots.
Yeah,
and
from what I understand, they ended up doing a
me.
whole lot of stuff. So he just kind of said, you know what, I want to move on to something that might be a little bit easier. Is that what it is?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right. And, well, here we are. Our required weekly mention of the Avengers.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Absolutely. Jacob, words come down on who they've cast as the character Quicksilver.
Yeah. It's the same person we've been talking about for weeks that we've been speculating that has going to be cast as this. Aaron Taylor Johnson has been officially cast
What's
as
he been in?
Quicksilver. He his mainly known for his role as Kick-Ass in the movie Kick-Ass. And
what movie is that? Who did he play again?
He played Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass.
And Kick-Ass 2.
Yes.
And yes, that's correct. He was also played Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass 2.
He reprised the role.
Yes.
He reprised, yes. So he will be joining Elizabeth Olsen, who will be playing Scarlet Witch. They will be brother and sister in the movie.
All right. I know Ryan's got an opinion on this. Hang on just a second. Anybody else have anything to say about this particular cast?
I like it. I don't.
Jacob's got
it.
Jeff?
Yeah. I have a problem with it. He's a good actor.
All right.
In Whedon, I trust.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the obviously I know the character, what the character looks like, but I've seen pictures of Aaron Taylor Johnson where he looks like he could easily be made up to be Quicksilver.
I hope they give him white hair though.
I'm sure they will.
There's something that tells me that Ryan may have an issue with this. Am I correct, Ryan?
Well, that's because I've seen Aaron Taylor Johnson's work. Not very impressed by his work, even though he was in the movie The Savages from Oliver Stone. Now, he did a decent job in that film, but at the same time, Fox owns the rights to these two characters, 99% of the rights anyway. So this is very difficult for what Marvel's trying to do with Avengers. Don't think they should include these two characters, but at the same time, Elizabeth Olsen is the Scarlet Witch. Fine, I'll deal with that. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, should have picked someone much better to play that role.
Have an idea of who you would want to play that role?
Not off the top of my head, but just someone who's not Aaron Taylor
Aaron
Johnson.
Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart.
Not Aaron Eckhart.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, please not Shia LaBeouf.
Anyone but Shia LaBeouf.
No. And I'm trying to, and I'm not overly familiar with Quicksilver. I mean, I've seen the character, but I haven't really read up a whole lot on Quicksilver. I may have to read up some more.
He's an interesting character.
On the surface, I don't really have a problem. I mean, it's not like this is, we know who the main characters are. It's Iron Man, it's Captain America, it's Thor. It's not, Quicksilver's going to be a secondary character.
Well, I mean, I doubt it because Quicksilver was. I mean, in the original Avengers story, Quicksilver was like one of the second group of Avengers.
That's what I'm saying. I think we'll get an introduction here, but I'm not certain it's going to be. When we get to Avengers 3, I could see it being a much bigger character. I think we get introduced in this.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I don't think it's going to play like they're not. I don't think either of those two characters are going to be like the main venues to be there.
Well, if you look at the main Avengers in the comics, you look at Vision, who's married to the Scarlet Witch, and then fans are going to say, well, you can't have Scarlet Witch without Quicksilver. It's going to go down that road. And they're actually, I can't imagine them not doing a Vision.
Well, and I mean, to be honest, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are more staples of the Avengers universe, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I mean, to me,
even
it makes
though they're
more
Magneto's
sense.
kids,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fox owns the rights to those characters.
Both studios own the rights. They split them.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair.
Coming out next Tuesday on DVD. Not a whole lot, but there is Pacific Rim. And there is The Heat. Both are able to come home. This one's the one, comedy, Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy. Isn't that the right one?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can get those Tuesday, and you get two different TV sets. The Season 5 of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Season 1 of Vikings are out there. Ryan, you also found out that the Jeff Bridges, Ryan Reynolds film R.I.P.D. is set to come out on store shelves. When is that going to hit?
On October the 29th.
Okay.
Prepare yourself to be whelmed.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I walked into it thinking it was going to be worse than what it was. This isn't great film by any stretch. I think I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's just kind of there. It's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Men in Black with ghosts.
Pretty much. So, it's worth watching once. I'm not so certain it's worth buying and taking home.
I thought Men in Black was Ghostbusters. Because I thought Men in Black was Ghostbusters with aliens.
Yeah, but you see, now we've gone from Ghostbusters to Men in Black to R.I.P.D.
Okay, so
and it continues to be a copy of a
it's
copy.
It's a modern retelling of Ghostbusters.
All of us that are in this business understand that if you try and make a copy of a copy, suddenly your second and third generations get just that much worse. Hence, you get R.I.P.D.
I'd rather just watch Ghostbusters.
When we get to our next segment, we've got a couple of reviews. We got Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, and we've got Tomorrow People, and we've got a whole lot of information, including a show that got canceled before it even debuted. It's next. Hey, welcome back in. Listening to the Entertainment Roundtable here. Superstation 101, WYDE. Early on a Saturday morning for the Entertainment Roundtable. And that you may have, probably didn't if you're awake right now, Late Show with David Letterman.
I started to say, is that
song.
David Letterman? That's what I thought that was.
I figured since Tom Hanks made his announcement of having type 2 diabetes on the show, it seemed only appropriate that we should come back to that.
Sure.
All right, Ryan, let's do a couple of reviews here. A couple of shows debuted just this past week, and we'll start off with ABC, kind of doing the offshoot of Once Upon a Time. It's called Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. Your opinion?
Yes, sir. For this spin-off of the original series known as Once Upon a Time, it's about Alice, a little bit more grown up. She's had a lot of experience with Wonderland. They're about to give her a procedure to make her forget about Wonderland, but the Knave of Hearts shows up and says, hey, your true love Cyrus, who is a genie, by the way, is alive. We need to go back into Wonderland to find him. The adventure, the romance, everything else ensues, and the character from the Aladdin universe, Jafar, is in this show, played by the brilliant actor Naveen Andrews. I just got finished watching the pilot moments ago. I got to say, I'm sold, man. I give it 5 stars out of 5. I think it's a great spin-off. They did
keep her.
The original Disney film of Alice in Wonderland. They did not the original film known as Aladdin from the Disney universe. So I'm sold. I love it. Can't wait to see where they're going to take it. I give it 5 stars out of 5 stars.
Anybody else see this?
No.
Okay. CW, let's see. This would have been Wednesday night. They had Arrow season premiere, and then right after it, they debuted a new show called Tomorrow People. And you wanted to go back to Arrow real quick?
Well, I was just going to say I was disappointed because I set my DVR to record it, and for some reason it didn't record, and I'm upset about that.
We'll replay it this weekend.
They will replay it this weekend.
I'll try to find it.
There you go. Right after it was Tomorrow People, and this apparently stars the brother of...
Robbie Amell is...
Amell, thank you.
Stephen Amell is Oliver Queen in Arrow. Robbie Amell plays the main character in Tomorrow People.
How many of us have seen this? Jacob and I. Ryan, you've seen it?
Yes, sir.
And
I have DVR'd it. I have not watched it.
You have not watched it yet. Okay, so no spoilers. David? No?
I haven't seen it, no.
Okay. Ryan, we'll start with you. Tomorrow People on the CW.
Yes, sir. For this pilot, I thought it was good, kind of cool, a little bit of sleek. However, I did have a lot of X-Men Evolution flashbacks, but at the same time, like the cast, especially native Marylander, played by Peyton List. We love you, by the way, Peyton. Love the show. I think it's got potential. I think they revealed just a little bit too much information during the course of the pilot. So I'm a little disappointed about that. Scale 1 to 5, probably going to go between 3.5, if not 4 stars. I think they revealed a little too much. I think they should have paced it a little better. Should have spaced it out for a few more episodes, if not 10 to 13, to drop some major bombshells. But other than that, like the action, like the cast, like the look.
All right. 3.5 out of stars for Ryan. Jacob.
I really enjoyed this one. I mean, the plot is intriguing. They've got they did a good job of setting up the opening. I mean, this is probably one of the better pilots I've seen this year. I won't say it's the best, but it's on up there of just setting you in the universe and getting you into the show quickly and getting you into the characters. I liked it. I thought that this was going to be more of like, I thought each person was going to have their own like superpower. It looks like everyone has their own. I mean, everyone has the same powers for the most part. So I won't say that's a disappointment, but it was just something I didn't expect. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, 3.5 and a 4. Okay. I'm going to go with Jacob, but I'm going to give this one problem. I'm going to give it the same rating that Ryan gave it. I'm going to give it 3.5, and I'll say why. The actors, to me, are a little on the uneven side. They seem a little uncomfortable, and they seem a little bit wooden. I'm hoping that's just maybe, the pilot, and everyone's kind of,
feeling out their characters.
Exactly, and maybe they'll just get into it and be more comfortable. But Ryan, you said that you had a lot of X-Men flashbacks. Oh yeah,
X-Men Evolution flashback. So young mutants, young heroes discovering their powers, trying to band together, and
this group of people that wants to kind of squash them.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
like
set it up.
Trying to kill them all, that type of thing. Or
they've certainly set it up to be paralleled with X-Men. There's no doubt, and you can tell that that's where they got the inspiration for the story.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
And I mean, I agree with you completely, and it was something I kind of wanted to say in my review, but we had talked about it beforehand, and I didn't want to steal your thunder. So I'm just saying.
I just would have said I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree. I think the acting could have been better.
Yeah,
but I think they'll grow into it. I think it was just a growing pains.
I will stick with this for a while and see where it goes.
So it's tomorrow's people, yesterday's ideas.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay, good.
So why didn't they just call it today? Oh, I'm sorry. NBC has that. The Fox Network looking to rebuild their animation domination lineup for Sunday evenings. They initially ordered 13 episodes of a half-hour animated show called Murder Police, which it's a weird title. Would have been about a hapless detective and his coworkers, featuring voices like Wilder Valderrama from that 70s show fame. You got Jane Lynch, Chi McBride, and others. Jacob, Fox, not really big on it, huh?
Yeah, they axed it. Didn't even air it.
Ordered 13 episodes and then said no.
And I thought ABC canceling Lucky 7 after 2 episodes was bad.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
I mean,
open up the curtain on something we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, but I mean, like now I don't feel so bad for Firefly. I mean, at least it got a whole season.
Yeah, really. Wow. See ya.
But it was quality.
Yeah, you're right. This was probably terrible. I can't
I'm
imagine.
sure it is.
I mean just what they. I mean, Murder Police. It sounds awful. I mean,
with Wilder Valderrama and Jane Lynch.
Right.
I mean, you pretty much got 3 strikes. And
I mean, I like Will Sasso, and I like Chi McBride or however you pronounce his name.
I like Jane Lynch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Valderrama, but he can do different voices and whatnot. He's pretty funny. He's got good timing.
I'm unimpressed. I was underwhelmed, and even when this, because from what I understand, they're kind of shopping this to cable. I won't be searching for it.
Nope.
Fox, however, has confirmed renewals for 3 animated shows. They've given a 26th season approval for The Simpsons.
Woo!
Good grief.
There's no way they're not going to let that go to 30 now.
I probably have to. Bob's Burgers, which I saw like 5 to 10 minutes of one episode and was thoroughly unimpressed. And Family Guy comes back next year, but they still got that 4th hole because they canceled Cleveland show after last year, and American Dad is confirmed it's no longer going to be on Fox. It'll still be doing new stuff. I think TNT has picked it up. TBS, okay. So they've got a hole in the animation domination lineup. So Murder Police ain't it. We'll see where they go with it next. ABC working on developing a show entitled When the Balls Drop. It's based upon the autobiography of the same name penned by Brad Garrett. We know him from Everybody Loves Raymond. Garrett would star in the show about a middle-aged divorced man looking for balance in both home and work. Daniel, thank you very much for your submission. David, you mentioned it. ABC didn't like Lucky 7.
No.
Show about coworkers who win the lottery. They pulled it after 2 airings. They're replacing it with reruns of the show called Scandal.
Why?
Why did they even put Lucky 7 on the air?
Yeah.
It wasn't great to begin with. I watched the debut, and I had the second one recorded because I wanted to see if it was going to get better or which way it would go in episode number 2. But that was going to be that was it. If it didn't catch me in episode 2, I was done. When I found out that they canceled the show, I didn't even watch it.
Done.
Whatever. In thinking about it, this is one of the 1-hour shows. I mean, I've been kind of brutal on the half-hour debut comedies because they all, to me, just stink. This one right here was not good.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about the show, but I mean, how far can you go with that plot?
I don't know. I mean, how long can
you go
How much
with that
backstabbing can you have? And
apparently 1 episode.
Yeah,
pretty much. Exactly.
No, 2. Don't forget 2.
2 episodes.
You can go 2 episodes.
Was the second one aired?
Yes, it was because it ended up on my DVR and
two
everything.
episodes.
So you can go 2 episodes.
That's as far as you can go.
That's as far as it'll go. However, the show that ended Tuesday evening, well, it didn't do well. The show that kicks off Tuesday evening, ABC loves it, right, David?
Oh, yeah. Despite its slide in the ratings, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still the #1 rated show in Tuesday night, and ABC has rewarded the show by bumping it up from 6-episode order to a full season, 22 episodes.
We were wondering,
love it,
with NCIS and the upheaval over there, Ryan, about them having one of the actors leave, whether that was going to hurt the ratings. And I think part of this is the fact that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has just gotten so much buzz and publicity But now these two, I think, are going to fight for number one on Tuesday nights. NCIS and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think, are going to be head-to-head battles throughout the entire course of this season.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake for them to do 22 episodes.
Why?
Mainly because I'm more of a fan of the British way of doing things, like 8 to 13 episodes. I think you don't get worn out as much, and you don't have as many filler episodes.
I guess I can see that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And what I do want them to do, and what they have not done that I was kind of thinking that they would do, is kind of get us to the point where they could introduce some characters. And they don't all have to by any means, but I was thinking they were going to introduce some people that might show up, even if they're just fringe characters, in the Avengers film series. And they haven't seemed to have stepped anywhere towards that yet.
No spoilers for this past episode because a friend of mine has yet to see it. But they may have very well done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not doing it enough, is what I'm saying. I thought that was what this was going to be.
3 episodes in, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that from the beginning. But I do like the fact that they have started to develop at least one of the characters. The girl. Sky, thank you very much.
Sky.
Oh, Sky.
But the kid who's training her, Agent Ward.
He is redundant now.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he's kind of... they're going to either have to do something with him or they're going to have to lose him because he's going nowhere right now.
I hope he is the Whedon murder.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Somebody does have to die.
I'm hoping for Fitzsimmons, both of them.
Oh, I like
I don't know.
I
will
like
say
them.
this. When I
Kill the girls, man.
when the show premiered, I looked at those two characters and I said, okay, these two, if they are overused, could get real bad real quick. So far, they haven't overused those characters to me.
Well, no, but one way they need to handle it is kill one of them.
They are redundant. They're both and they're both techie side.
Right.
Yeah.
Kill one of them, gives the other one depth.
All right.
We'll
see where it goes. So the Josh Whedon death, one of us wants one of the techies, the other wants Ward.
Just hold off until
maybe that can be
Kobe
two
Smulders
Josh.
can leave Mother because it's ending this year, and
it
she can
is
come on
done
full
this year.
time.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
I would be okay with that.
I would be all right with that. Sky and Kobe Smulders in the same one?
Thank you. That'd be
There
the
you
greatest
go.
thing
To
ever.
the entertainment chauvinist tables.
Hey, we're all guys here, okay? What do you want?
This is true.
All right, over to NBC, and not much of a surprise here. NBC picked up the James Spader show, The Blacklist, for the entire year. You were talking about 22 episodes for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
That's how many episodes The Blacklist is going to get.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. It's one of the shows that
it's
I'm
a good
in.
show.
It's pretty good. And then my wife looks at me and goes, I'm kind of lost on The Blacklist. And this is my wife who can't... She doesn't really do well when you have a whole lot of plot lines that kind of get layered in. She needs it kind of simple and straightforward, so she's already kind of lost on The Blacklist. Sorry.
What are you trying to say about your wife?
Hey, I'm not throwing her under the bus. I'm just saying if it's not simple and straightforward, she ain't got time for it.
Well, they've been pretty simple and straightforward with how unsubtle they're being about this whole father-daughter crap.
I know, right?
No sense in being subtle. Come out with a sledgehammer and let's do it. All right, from keeping to losing. The long-running show, Law & Order SVU, Ryan losing one of the longest-running characters in TV history, and I think this is a record, Ryan, and correct me if I'm wrong. This character, voiced and or acted by the same exact guy, has appeared in 10 different television series, and that is a record, am I correct?
Yes, it is. Richard Belzer plays the character of Detective John Munch. Unfortunately, is going to turn in his papers. He's going to leave SVU after this week coming up's episode. But he's not going to be gone forever. They're going to leave the door open for him to potentially come back as a recurring or a guest star or something like that because his character is going to go ahead and work for the DA's office as an investigator.
Oh, we could see him from time to time.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and I got to admit, I like Richard Belzer. And in that role especially, I mean, yeah, he's played it for... ever. But he so fits that role, and his persona is just perfect for that. So I like it. Speaking of NBC, kind of looking to the future, by looking to the past, Jacob, they want to bring back Remington Steele, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, they're bringing back a new version of Remington Steele. They say the difference this time, though, is that this one will be developed as a half-hour comedy, which is strange.
Interesting way to do it.
Yeah, but they said it's going to follow Olivia Holt, the daughter of Remington Steele and Laura Holt, as she reopens her parents' detective agency.
I can see guest starring roles for Pierce Brosnan.
So I mean, and they haven't.
And you know that's going to get major promotion.
And NBC hasn't actually ordered a pilot for this one yet. So I mean, it's still in the very early stages.
Is Remington still in the very early stages?
Thank you for the pun.
Well, at least they're admitting that the original Remington Steele was kind of a comedy.
Yeah, it was, and that was what kind of made it fun. NBC has ordered though something called Tin Man. Jacob, what's that?
Yeah, it's a psychological crime thriller set in the near future that focuses on a fugitive robot accused of first-degree murder. And the robot may hold the key to the future of human evolution, and a young female public defender is forced to fight for his cause.
Didn't we see this with a Will Smith take on it?
I think we've already done this.
iRobot.
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Over to CBS, we started off this segment by playing the theme song to the TV show The Late Show with David Letterman, and CBS has extended the contract of David Letterman through 2015. They're going to keep that steady while NBC kind of jumbles things up again. They're going to replace Jay Leno again. This time they're using Jimmy Fallon instead of Conan O'Brien. Jimmy Fallon will take over The Tonight Show, and then is it Seth Meyers that takes over the slot that Jimmy Fallon's in?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So that's right. In about 7 months, you'll be able to see Jimmy Fallon on TNT.
That could be very well true. CBS, meanwhile, has canceled, thank you, We Are Men, starring Tony Shalhoub and Jerry O'Connell, after only 2 episodes. So, lucky 7, We Are Men, 2 episodes, and done.
I'm disappointed in that, because I really liked that show. See, episode 2 was better than the first.
Anything would have been better than the first.
The first was fantastic.
The Goldbergs got better, too. I'm really digging that show.
Oh, did it? Because I watched like 3 episodes and just couldn't handle it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, God, you and Steve need to buddy up and hate everything.
Yeah.
It's just the comedies to me weren't that good this year. Here's the new lineup for Monday evening. 2 Broke Girls will follow the lead-in. So you got How I Met Your Mother at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, followed by 2 Broke Girls. Then at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, Mike and Molly come back a little bit earlier than anticipated. Originally, they were scheduled to come back, I think, mid-season or something like that. They're going to come back beginning next month, and they'll wrap up the comedy segment with something else they could get rid of at any point in time, and I would be perfectly all right with it. Mom.
Which, I mean, this new schedule may actually help out Mom, because people will flock to Mike and Molly and may stick around for Mom. May help their ratings there. I doubt it. But
I'm here to tell you, I watch exactly one of these shows. I watch How I Met Your Mother, mainly because I'm going to play out the string knowing it's the last season of it. Right. And then I check out and I'm off watching something else. I don't watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch 2 Broke Girls. I don't watch Mike and Molly.
Preach it, brother.
I'm not going to watch any of those things.
Back to the CW network here real quick, Ryan. CW, you love the show Nikita, but you're not going to have much of a chance for it much longer.
The final episodes are going to debut on Friday night, November the 22nd at 9, 8 Central. 6 episodes for the final season of Nikita.
All right. And Daniel, real quick, checked in on one more thing here. Our intrepid listener checked in on the USA Network. They've renewed Covert Affairs, another 5th season, 16 episodes. So there you go. We've got a lot of stuff that we didn't get to, but we'll get to it next week. Ryan, where can we catch you online?
Go to Facebook.com/TheRPM Show. Film or TV, we'd love to hear from you.
Enjoy your weekend, sir, okay?
All right, you do the same. Thank you very much for having me on the show. You guys take care and don't work too hard.
Love it. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Jeff, David, Jacob, thank you very much. We'll try and check out some Captain Phillips and have a couple of reviews for you this time next week. Fastest Hour in Radio is next.